Episode 9, The Smiling Dead. Maya's vision swam in and out of focus. The pain in her stitched mouth was unbearable, every breath pulled at the torn flesh. The grinner stood over her, his blade glistening in the candlelight. "You're almost ready, sweetheart." His voice was a soft coo, like a lover whispering secrets. Maya's body shook violently. She didn't want to be ready. She wanted to wake up, to believe this was a nightmare. But then, the walls lurched, and something crawled out. Maya's heart stopped. A figure, thin, trembling, peeled itself from the wallpaper. Its body was stretched and warped like it had been trapped for years. Its face was a familiar one. A girl. One of the missing girls. Her lips were stitched into a frozen grin, but her eyes screamed. Maya felt bile rise in her throat. She wanted to cry, but the stitches, they wouldn't let her. Sheriff Harlow enters the house. The wind howled through the trees as Sheriff Harlow approached the Renshaw house. His gun was drawn. His heart pounded. Deputy Carter stood outside, her face pale. "Sheriff, this place isn't right." Harlow swallowed hard. He could feel it too, like the house itself was watching them. "We're going in." He pushed open the door, and the stench of rot and blood hit him like a wave. His gut twisted. There were smiling faces on the walls, stitched, frozen, and in the center of the room, a girl, Maya Carter, tied to a chair, her mouth stitched shut. And behind her, a man. No, not a man. A thing. The grinner. He turned slowly, his stitched smile never faltering. "Ah, Sheriff," he whispered. "I was hoping you'd come." Harlow raised his gun, but the grinner only laughed. The walls shuddered, and the house began to move. The house wakes up. The walls breathed. The faces twisted and grinned. Maya let out a muffled scream as arms shot out from the wallpaper, clawing at her skin. Sheriff Harlow fired a shot. The bullet ripped through the grinner's shoulder. But he didn't bleed. He just smiled wider. "You don't get it, do you?" The grinner whispered. The walls moaned. The house was alive. And it was hungry. Harlow felt cold fingers wrap around his wrist. The wallpaper was pulling him in. Pulling all of them in. The grinner leaned close to Maya. "Smile for me, sweetheart." The lights flickered, and the house swallowed them whole. To be continued. Love horror and thrillers? Want more twisted episodes? Subscribe now and step into the darkness. Turn on notifications. The next victim could be you.